potion. My bad. I don't know where the potion person is, though. Is it this person? No, that's not it. It's one of these. No, it's not you. I think it's you, maybe. Nope. So apparently Artemis stole somebody's Pokemon. Ah. It's this house. Okay. There we go. That's what we came here for. There we go. So, yeah. So again, for, like, Oblivion and stuff, like, I try to do my best to try and give them as much time as possible, but, you know, there are some days in which that you don't want to do anything for that. In the case for the Oblivion mod, there are some days in which I just go like, you know what, I don't really feel like doing any work on that, and then I'll leave it alone. And then same thing with like just working on Arcanix or anything for Circuitcraft. Same idea, I'll go like, you know what, I don't feel like doing that today. It's why for I think the first beginning parts of Circuitcraft 1.20, you'll see though like all the barrels were still there for a long time, or for a decent time, is because like again those kinds of things pop up in my mind. It's like, I don't feel like doing that right now. I'll do that tomorrow, and then tomorrow happens. It's like, I don't feel like doing that today. I'll do it tomorrow, and then keeps on prolonging it even further. And then same thing with, what was it? Same thing with the Oblivion mod, too. Like, in order for me, like, I think I had Sanctuary all AXM'd and ready to go, but I think it took me, like, 2 weeks before I actually made it completely standalone. Because, again, some days I just don't want to do anything, and then other days I do, so that's why I did a bunch of things. So for the modded playthrough, we're not going to see any changes for a while, except for the time in which that we finish with what we are currently doing. Because what we are currently doing is we're going through one of the DLCs. So once we are done everything with the DLC, I have to empty out one of the storages from that from my mod specifically, so that we can not lose any items. And then after that, yeah, that's it. Since you have steel types, we're just gonna move Entree there. The only one we're gonna have a problem with is Steelix, but hey. But yeah, but that's par for the course, at least for me. Because a lot of times, though, I am trying to, like, I feel like I have too many things to do. But not only that, though, I keep adding more things onto it, which is the worst thing for me to do. But because I'm adding more things to my list of things that need to be done, I have very little time to go work on them, kind of thing. So like Arcanix, like literally the day before I did the recording for the doors, I literally finished off that storage. Like, that's the kind of thing though that I'm talking about though. Like, I have very little time, and what time that I do have, I don't have enough specifically for me to go do all of that stuff. And because that, to me, I have very little Oh, the first time a trainer's actually used an item. Thank you. Not like it matters, I don't really need it. But yeah, but because, like, I have, like, all of these things that need to be done, like, I need to finish off Arcanix's storage, make sure that everything's all good, create teleport signs that lead you to the rooms that are hidden in the area, and not only that, figure out all the signs that all the command signs that I do have. Try and find a spot for each and every one of them. Try. I don't have to, but try at the very least. And again, same idea though. Like, I don't know exactly what I can do for that instance. And that's what's really hurting my sort of my enthusiasm to go and do that. So that's kind of the thing that I'm also thinking of too, is like, how do I make myself more interested in wanting to do this little thing? And so each and every time that I think about it, I try to find a way that makes me more motivated to go do it. That's why for Arcanix, I try to watch YouTube videos on the side, so though I have something to distract myself, so that I'm not dredging it even further. And same thing with the Oblivion mod, like, same idea. I watch YouTube videos on the side. But when nobody uploads videos that I want to watch, kind of thing, or I don't want to watch older videos that I used to like to watch, then we have a problem, because now I have no motivation to do anything anymore. And also, I mean, it's not that I don't like rewatching my videos, it's that, like, I already know the end of it, right? It's like, because I've been there, I've done it. Like, even if I were to, let's say, want to be nostalgic and watch me play Nehrim. By the way, I still need to go through that. Oh my word. So I could probably talk about this because it was already very much planned, and I think I talked about it before too. But I'm not quite sure how much I've talked about it. So back during, I think it was the 1st year anniversary, this was planned. So it's not like a recent thing. I actually didn't know Suicune was here. This is just a complete coincidence. It's a complete coincidence, but anyway. But since then, I've had a plan for the 5th year anniversary, which was going to be in Oblivion. We were going to have a book. This book was going to be a detailed, sort of like a journal entries of, well, not really journal entries because it's not going to have dates and times, but sort of like have detailed entries in which that, like, of what our character did during their time in Nehrim. Obviously, it's not going to go for silly stuff like, oh, after leveling up. No, it's not going to have some silly stuff like that. I think I have almost complete 1 finished. Which you may be like, you might think like, oh man, that's like nothing. You also have to remember, though, that the last time I edited these is probably years ago. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find out. Modified in 2021 of May. So in May 20th, 2021 was the last time I picked these up. And you might be wondering, how come you haven't done any progress? You've said that you've almost finished 1. The reason why, of course, is, well, you gotta remember, though, that these were a part of the original videos of the channel. They were a long time ago, right? These were back when the channel was first starting. So the quality is not too great. And plus, not speaking ill of anything that I'm doing right now, but this microphone is not the best. This is still the microphone that was used in those videos. And I was still learning how to, I don't want to say learning how to use it, but I was still learning like the ins and outs of audio and trying to piece together like better audio levels for the game and the microphone and all that stuff. And this was before that there was an introduction that I could actually start not soundproofing, but that I can minimize background noise with this microphone, because it was supposed to have that, but for some reason it didn't have that. You naughty microphone. Because you were supposed to, but for some reason you didn't. And I was angry. Because at the time that I bought it, it costed me a lot. Well, it still costs, I think, roughly the same now, but back then I didn't really have as much that I could spend frivolously on a microphone like this. And then I found out that it wasn't the microphone that I needed, because this one is better if you sound treat your room, I think at the time. And then with the new microphone that I have, which is right above me, well, I say right above me, but it's technically behind the computer, but anyway, that one is a lot better because I don't need to sound treat my room, which is better for me, because that means I don't have, because they're both roughly around, I think, the same price line. I think this one was 120, and I think the one that's above me is about 180, 200, I think. Mind you, would it be better if I sound treated my room? Of course it would. That would be a lot better for all of us, because then you don't hear me echo or anything like that on the video, if that actually is a thing. But then again, I think I have my computer kind of like, so like a lot of like both Cube and Monochrome here are like both on the computer itself, and so is my Nintendo Switch and everything. So I think it's kind of already done the fact that there's no echo in the room. And plus my TV. But then again, yeah. But yeah, so the fifth one was just going to be like a sit down and read. Similar to how the Dark King was, but if I was a better editor, we would have a better visualization of the Nayrum adventures. Where I would have like the detailed events, or the events that I'm detailing in the background as footage. So you get to see like the events as they unfold in the story. However, I am not an editor. I won't even call myself one that. I won't even call myself that. I'm just a person who likes to do videos and likes to record for a really long time. Unfortunately got sick, so he couldn't really do that anymore. And now he's getting back on his feet in that sort of sense, so yeah. Yeah, so like there's other things that I have planned that I want to do for the channel as well. Like I want to play Tiny Tina's Wonderland. And another thing that I wanted to do, like that's one of the games that I want to do, and I'm trying to not rush, but I'm also not trying to go too slow for it because I want to move on. So one of the things I'm trying to do is I'm trying to finish Oblivion modded playthrough as quickly as possible, so that way though we can start moving on to Enderal. If you're unclear of Enderal, Enderal is pretty much the same thing as Nayrum, but it's for Skyrim. So, Nayrum is supposed to be a total conversion mod of Oblivion. So, what Enderal is that it's a total conversion of Skyrim. It uses the Skyrim engine, but it's a whole completely new game. Same thing as Nayrum. Nayrum uses the Oblivion's engine, but it's a new game within that engine. So that's exactly what I am trying to do, is I'm trying to finish off modded playthrough so that way that we can get that done. Now, mind you, Enderroll will be sort of fighting against the Oblivion mod playthrough because those two are going to be interchangeable. It's sort of like how if Scarlet came out with the DLC, let's say today, Crystal and Scarlet would be fighting each other for the runtime, pretty much. And then for StarCraft, it would be fighting against any other game. Not because StarCraft is not important, but because of the fact that the middle slot is always for any other game, but is always going to be occupied by Minecraft, or StarCraft in this instance. So that at the very least, there's always going to be a video in that middle slot. Whereas the first slot, which is usually Oblivion modded playthrough or Oblivion mod playthrough, depending on the timetables of each. Because that's pretty much all that's there.